So great, guys. Hello, everyone. Good morning, and really happy to see all of you have joined in for the preparations for a start audit mock interview. Right. So today I'm going to be conducting a mock interview for one of the candidates for a statutory audit domain. Giving a small brief about my journey. Right. I was being a hardcore statutory auditor since I was a part of a EY audit team. So I have been auditing, or I have audited a lot of companies. Right from automotive sectors, FMCG companies, right, and other listed companies which I've audited in my journey. So from that journey, definitely I'm going to be asking a lot of questions. Plus, this interview is going to be helping the all of you going to be preparing for the interviews for start audit domain. Mostly, I'll try to cover maximum areas for start audit domain. Okay, so I'll be choosing one of the random candidate who is sitting here. I think I've already chosen it out, right? So I'll be grilling him or her to next level. I'm going to be asking him or her very different variety of questions which are going to be asked in interview, right? So that is there. Parallelly, for the students, those who are there, if you have any still queries, doubts, right, you can put it out in the comment section or a chat section. I would request for the students, those who've connected here, to note down each and every questions which I'm going to be discussing, right? Because I'm going to be ensuring that you're going to be majorly prepared for start audit, right? That is one. Second thing, I don't know how many of you have downloaded my question bank for a start audit. It is very comprised question bank comprising of 123 page. Mostly the things are going to be from there and from my start audit masterclass, right? So we have prepared an exclusive masterclass for a start audit, which is for 20 odd hours. So that is also going to be helping you to prepare for interviews, right? So parallelly, right, अगर कुछ ज़्यादा grilling हो जाएगा, तो you can also stop me from YouTube live comments. I'll be controlling myself, right? So I have selected one of the student whose name is Hardik Sharma ji. Hardik, I hope you are here. Yes, Hardik is here. Yes.
Am I audible?
Audible. Hardik, you're okay if I take a mock interview?
Yeah, sure, sir. No issues.
Okay, great. This is called as SA505 external confirmation. Okay, chalo. Great. So just a second, let me just go through the CV of an Hardik. Okay. Got it. Great. So I've gone through the CV of Hardik as well. So I'm going to be asking him questions for approximately 30 to 45 odd minutes, right from very basic of stat audit till the conclusion. Okay. So great, Hardik. Really happy to see that you have applied in PwC. I am the director of PwC, right? And really happy to see that you are interested to join our organization. Hardik, if you don't mind, right, I just wanted a small brief about your journey and a small introduction, please.
Yeah, sure, sir. My name is Hardik Sharma, and I have completed my chartered accountancy exam in May 22. And I started my CA journey back in 2014. And I have been recently I was with HDFC Bank as a credit manager, and now I'm looking to switch profiles. So I've completed my articleship from RS Mangal and Company, which is a leading firm in CA industry in Jaipur. And they are very experienced with almost 50 years of experience in taxation and statutory audit profiles. And now I have applied for stat audit domain because this is what I think my preferences are.
Got it. So you said you started your CA journey in which year? 2014, right?
Yes, sir.
And you cleared in 2022.
Yes, sir.
Why have taken so much years? Any specific reason?
Sir, I couldn't give exam for almost 2 years because of COVID, and then due to COVID recovery.
Okay, got it. You got COVID?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What happened exactly in COVID to you?
Sir, the report was negative, but at the time of examination.
Please continue. Huh?
At the time of
I'll just mute every one of them. You can just now unmute. Yes, please.
Sir, May 2020 exams were not. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. So May 2020 exams were not conducted by ICAI, and it was November 2020 where I got just before the exams, I was screened by COVID-19 positive. The report later came negative, but all the effects like joint pains and very matlab, too much weakness was there. So I opted out, and I opted out for May 21 exams, but I couldn't give them as well. So I gave December exam 21 and then completed it in May 22.
Okay, got it. Got it. No problem. Since you said you cleared your exam in May 2022, right? And you have applied when you're working with HDFC Bank, now you're looking to get into stat audit. I
Yes,
don't
sir.
understand this outlier in your journey. Can you please explain me this outlier?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. At that time, HDFC Bank was very good. It was one of the top private banks of India. So
It
it
was
was
or
a,
it is?
it
Just
is
say,
currently,
you said
it is
was. No
currently.
problem.
Okay. It was a privilege to start my career with HDFC Bank. But later on, I figured out that my interest was mostly in the audit profile, which was not my profile at HDFC Bank. So
Okay.
therefore, now I have decided to switch to stat audit profile.
Okay. What will you do if you don't get into stat audit?
I think stat audit is a good profile for me. But if it's not stat audit, then I think internal audit or forensics audit is also a very good option for.
Acha, no problem. Okay. Now coming to your journey of your articleship, right, and basic stuff. Now imagine that if I hire you and if I send you on a client place for doing a statutory audit, right? Explain me the step-by-step process which you're going to be doing on a client, and imagine that this is a new client to a company. What is the first step which you're going to be doing?
So first step is the pre-planning, where the organization will be signing the engagement letters with the client, and I will start from where my role comes in. Okay.
Okay.
So first thing will be to take a walkthrough through all the
No,
control.
just a second. I'll stop you here.
Okay.
Right? You said you will sign the engagement. Okay.
Huh.
Under which essay of standards on auditing engagement letter is signed?
SA 210, sir.
SA 210. Okay, no problem. What is the most important clause which you feel is a part of an engagement letter?
Sir, the duties of management and duties of auditor. The differentiation between it is, I think, the when management concludes that what is their responsibility and what they are expecting from auditors.
Achha,
I
only
think
that is the most important clause which you feel?
we should very carefully read about that.
Other clauses?
Other clauses are also very important, sir.
Okay, so you only feel the duty is important. I thought fees is important for CS. No problem. Okay, no problem. So since you have decided and signed the engagement letter, right? Don't you think so? You should check some of the confirmation from a previous auditor.
Yes, sir. It is also a part of pre-planning where we have to communicate with previous auditor, because it is also one of the requirements under professional code and ethics.
Okay, got it. So what type of confirmation you will send to the previous auditor?
So most likely negative confirmation,
Okay.
as it is very inherent in practice. Most of the CAs, usually in practice, most of the CAs send negative confirmations to the previous auditor of any organizations which they are going to be auditing.
Okay. So what is the difference between negative confirmation and positive confirmation?
So in negative confirmation, even if no reply is received from the client, no reply is received from the previous auditor, then we also conclude in that situation that it is okay for us to proceed.
Okay, got it. Other than this, where you will send the negative confirmation?
Negative confirmation to where mostly in external confirmations, mostly to debtors, where we think that they are able and they are willing to reply to our confirmations.
Wow. So if you send a confirmation to debtors by saying a negative confirmation saying that your balance is 10
No,
crores.
not we are stating them the balance that is. We are asking them only for confirmation. We are stating them the balance. That the balance which is in your books as well.
No, I didn't got it. You're replying to confirmation, that time you'll send it.
When we are asking for an external confirmation from debtor, we are sending the balance that you have to confirm whether this is the balance in your books as well or not.
Right. So imagine that debtor does not reply, then you'll assume that the balance is correct, right? That is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, basically.
Wow. This is how you'll do an audit. ऐसे तो all the data are true and fair and they're correct. The companies will overstate their data.
Yeah, now I think positive confirmation will be a better option.
But now you said negative, now you're changing your side. Give me one thing, whether you will send a positive confirmation or a negative confirmation for data.
Now I think I'll be sending a positive confirmation. Yeah, because what you said was correct. Because we also need some confirmation as well as the account balances in that book also.
Okay, so where you will send a negative confirmation other than this?
Negative confirmations, previous auditor, and
if you don't know, say don't know. Don't bluff.
not bluffing, but trying to remember. Right now, nothing is coming to mind other than previous auditor.
Got it. No problem. What is the applicability of Ind AS?
Sir, Ind AS is applicable to all the listed entities as well as those unlisted entities who are having a net worth of 250 crores or more.
Okay.
And to NBFCs, it is not yet applicable to banks and insurance companies, but it has to be decided at a later date.
It is not applicable to NBFCs.
NBFCs, I think, I'm not sure about it, sir.
And banks?
Banks and insurances have their own statutory requirements for reporting. So it's not applicable to banks as of now.
Are you sure?
As of now, though, I think. Don't know about it.
You don't know about it. But you have said that you have knowledge of Ind AS, basic knowledge, because you have written in your CV. Executed statutory audit and tax audit, including IFRS and GAAP compliances. I hope IFRS is requirement of. I hope you're not faking something in your resume. No?
No, sir.
Got it. No problem. Okay. So since you said that you'll do the engagement letter signing, we'll go for some of the background check of a client, right? Then what is the next step? After that is done, after pre-planning, what is the next step?
Next step is risk assessment of that organization. That what are the risks associated with that particular industry or that particular company? What are the chances of that risk being realized?
Okay, wait. What is risk?
So risk is, I will be explaining audit risk. Audit risk is that we are giving a true and fair representation. We are saying that we are expressing in our opinion that financial statement shows true and fair view when they are actually not showing it. So it's audit risk, and audit risk is also divided into 3 type of risk: inherent risk, control risk, and detection risk.
Okay. Can audit risk be reduced?
Yes, sir.
How?
First is control risk. So if internal controls are good, then audit risk is reduced. If inherent risk is like any particular sector or any particular industry will have some inherent risk. So if the
example of inherent risk, please.
So like construction companies, real estate companies, where the inherent risk is on a higher side. So
why?
So because real estate companies, as we all know, most of the businesses are, most of their dealings are in cash or.
Who said real estate business and dealing is in cash? Where it is written?
No, sir, not on paper, but most of the, as we all know that in real estate industry, many of the dealings are in cash, partial in cash and partially in white money. That's right.
Who governs real estate market?
RERA. RERA is the act.
Okay. Which year act? Any idea on that?
2018 or 2019.
Full form of RERA?
Real Estate Regulation Act.
Okay. Yes. Come to planning again. What you'll plan?
So after we have assessed what the risk is, we have to estimate what its chances of happening, and what can be its impact.
Hmm.
After that, we will be going for test of controls and substantive audit procedures. And after we are done with test of details and analytical procedures, we will be finally giving out reporting.
Okay, got it. Okay, let's go one by one. So you said that you are going to be reading the financials of current year. You're going to be checking the numbers out, right? And then you'll find out and try to find out the materiality, right?
I am at.
Yes, you to forget it out, but no problem. How do you calculate a materiality?
So materiality is a benchmark. We basically decide an amount, and amount if any misstatement which is lower than that amount, that it cannot. We are deciding and benchmark an amount, and anything which is above that amount is
I know the
material.
meaning of materiality. I said, how do you determine a materiality?
So it has to be done on case to case basis.
Okay, explain how.
As in, first we see the financial statements,
Hmm.
and the amount, the figures which are showing in the financial statements, we can take a fair estimated guess, or it is subject to professional judgment, that what should be the level of materiality.
So they'll decide materiality based on professional judgment. Just
Yes,
looking
sir.
at financials. Okay, no problem. Share your screen. Share your screen. Let's see how do you calculate the materiality. Go to screener.
Sorry.
Screener. Go to screener. Google Pay.
Mhm.
Screener.com. ये नहीं भाई, screener hub नहीं. Screener.in. Screener.
Screener.
हाँ.
So is this the one?
Download the financials of any of the company of your choice. Export to Excel. Yeah, you need to log in with Google.
So I can do.
After that is when calculate a materiality for Adani Green. Again, you need to write the company name. Top right. Huh. Export to Excel. Open it.
So should I go to balance sheet?
Enable editing first. Enable editing top right. Huh. Top. Huh. Calculate the materiality.
Sorry, sir.
Calculate the materiality.
Sir, this is, I don't have any idea.
Right? You only said by looking the financial statements you can find out the materiality. Now you are saying you don't have any idea.
I have an idea, but I have not done it actually.
You have not done it.
No,
That
I'm
means you
not
have
done
a stat audit.
it.
If you don't remember, I'll read your first line, which you have written. You said executed stat audit and tax audit, including IFRS and GAAP compliances of 15 plus, I'll repeat, 15 plus corporate and non-corporate clients in sectors such as manufacturing, textile, retail, banking, wholesale, line of business.
Sir, I've done it.
You have done it. Then prove it by calculating the materiality.
Sir, but actually, it's been too long after that. So
Oh, so Since you're saying it's too long, so should I consider other candidate? Those who remember this, because I think materiality is the basic of an audit. Without that, I will not be able to proceed forward. No problem. Okay. Any idea on uh, control testing? How do you do control testing?
Yes, sir. Control testing. Should I explain about the process or?
Yes.
Okay. So first, we have to understand what is the processes that are being going on in the organization. Through processes, we can first we will do walkthrough. That is, trace the process from its beginning to end. Okay, what all transactions are being happening there, and if we find any exceptions there in the processes, then we can say that controls are not effective or they are unable to prevent frauds or errors.
Okay. So you walk through means checking the process from start to end, and you'll do that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chalo. Perform a walkthrough procedure for a purchase of iPhone, which company wants to purchase it to give to employees.
Okay.
Perform
So
a detailed walkthrough. Tell me what all steps are going to be there, how you will do it, what all things are going to be there.
okay. So the first, the company has to take permission. In processes, it's actually purchase requisition number, but the company will have to take the permission from finance department for it. Okay. And then they will have to issue
You have to take
tenders.
a permission from finance department.
Yes, sir.
Why finance department?
Because they will be controlling all the expenses and
Okay.
so then company will have to issue a tender or to supply screening. Supply screening, company will be doing supply screening, and they will be choosing the supplier who will be providing the iPhones at lowest cost to the company.
Okay.
And then we will have to check whether the iPhones have been received at the company in good shape or condition. Okay. And then we have to ensure that only those employees who are eligible for that scheme. Is it giving to all the employees or only selected employees?
Selected employees.
Then we'll have to check whether only those employees who are eligible for that scheme, they are being given iPhones, and then the companies will be
How do you
dispatching.
select a quotation?
Quotation will be of those supplier who will be providing at a low cost and quick delivery time, or who will be giving more benefits or
only low cost.
Low cost, quick delivery time, additional benefits, service warranties, and
Okay. To which all companies IFC is applicable?
to all the listed companies and unlisted public companies who are not sure about it, sir, but it is applicable to listed entities and selected class of unlisted public companies as well as private companies.
As well as private companies. All private companies?
A selected class of private company.
What is the selected class?
I don't remember it, sir.
No problem. Share your screen, Google it. Wanted to see how do you do a research.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah, you need to search to which all companies IFC is applicable.
It says all companies who are registered under Companies Act 2013.
Wow. Is it a genuine source? I don't trust his text guru.
Sir, public listed companies, unlisted companies with paid up share capital of more than 10 crore, turnover more than 100 crore, loans in more than 50 crore. For private companies whose share capital is 20
I know
crores.
this. I can also read this. Show me this in a Bear Act.
So,
Bear
but
Act,
it is
Bear Act. Have you ever read Bear Act?
no, sir.
Wow. Really, you have not read Bear Act? Do you know where Bear Act is available?
Yes, sir.
Open it and show me where it is written there. If you have not read a Bear Act, then how you have done audit? Huh?
I think it's the close list.
At least I hope you know this. This must be available in the Bear Act, right?
Yes, sir.
है ना?
Sorry, sir.
This must be written somewhere in the Bear Act.
Oh, yeah, it has to be there.
Has to be. To show me where it has to be.
I have to look for it.
You're not aware of where the Bear Acts are available?
I think this is the Bear Act.
But you're not able to show me na, where it is written.
Yes, sir.
Any of the clause which you have read from Bear Act?
So nothing, sir. I have actually read it, not from Bear Act, but from the books that were given to us by IC.
Well, no problem. We'll come to know it in a while. Okay.
Sir.
Got it. Now, how do you select a sample size?
So sample size, there are many methods like block selection method or random method. So one is a statistical method.
Okay. Oh. छोड़ दो. नेक्स्ट कैंडिडेट को लेते हैं भाई. हालत टाइट हो गया भाई का. ठीक हो ना, तुम पानी पी लो जाओ.
सही चल रहा था वैसे, लेकिन वहां मतलब थोड़ा टेक्निकल्स में मेरे को लग रहा है, मेरे को एक तो सर ये इशू इसमें ही आ रहा है ना, जब स्क्रीन शेयर करते तो ऊपर की वो जो आती है ना हेडिंग,
वेरी
वो
गुड. ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम. चलो नेक्स्ट कैंडिडेट को लेते हैं. चलो हार्दिक, हार्दिक के लिए जोरदार तालियां बेचारे के लिए, है ना. जबरदस्ती ग्रिल हो गया ये सुबह सुबह. चलो
इसकी
ग्रेट,
रिकॉर्डिंग
राउंड ऑफ
तो नहीं
अप्लॉज.
जाएगी?
हाँ, रिकॉर्डिंग में रहेगा भाई, ये परमानेंट रहेगा यूट्यूब पे. चलो ग्रेट हार्दिक. नेक्स्ट.
सर आप मुझे 5 मिनट दोगे लैपटॉप से लॉगिन करने के लिए?
शर्म आ रही है तुमको?
पूछते हैं ना, वो आई वाज नॉट श्योर कि आप लोगे या नहीं लोगे, तो मैंने से लॉगिन नहीं किया. मुझे 5 मिनट दो, मैं 5 मिनट में करती हूँ इतने आप.
हाँ, तो नेक्स्ट टू नेक्स्ट लेंगे. क्या हो गया अश्मिता?
सर जब क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं उसके आंसर्स आते हैं, व्हाटएवर यू वर आस्किंग हार्दिक, आई वाज एबल टू रिकॉल ओके व्हाट यू वर आस्किंग, बट आपका बॉडी लैंग्वेज और आपका स्टैंस इतना ज्यादा स्टर्न रहता है, द वे यू स्पीक, तो उसका क्या करे सर? I can understand what he was going through. इसलिए I was not raising my hand कि okay मैं भी interview because I think I would have done
जाओ
the
तुम
same
लैपटॉप
thing.
से कनेक्ट करो, तुमको भी ग्रिल करेंगे अभी।
सर नहीं
शर्म आ रही तुमको?
सर
अच्छा जाओ,
मैं
नेक्स्ट 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 कौन आना चाहता है जल्दी? नहीं, फीमेल कैंडिडेट, अब मेल हो गया ना, फीमेल को एक। जल्दी जल्दी जल्दी। रजनी का टर्न था, सॉरी।
Yes, sir.
रेडी हो?
Yes,
हम्म। अगरबत्ती चित्त लगा के आ जाओ, भगवान के पास जाओ।
I don't know.
हार्दिक का चेहरा भाई ऐसा दिख रहा है ना, वो टेंशन में, मुझे टेंशन हो रहा है भाई।
तो ना
हार्दिक,
बहुत ज्यादा ग्रिल करते हैं तो कौन ऐसा बोलता है कि डायरेक्ट खोल के दिखाओ and
अरे
all that?
मैं तो करता हूँ भाई। अगर आपने बेरेक नहीं पढ़ा, मैं जेन्युइनली चेक करता हूँ कि कितना जेन्युइनली आर्टिकलशिप की है। ठीक है, दिस इज जेन्युइनली विच इज गोना बी सीन। आपको पता होना चाहिए बेरेक का अवेलेबल है, सच बता रहा हूँ। राइट, दिस इज डन इन लॉट ऑफ बिग फोर इंटरव्यूज। राइट, वो तो बेरेक्ट उठा के दे देते हैं, ले बेटा ये बेरेक्ट ढूंढ के दिखा कहाँ पे है। तो गाइस यू शुड बी स्मार्ट इनफ टू नो दिस। चलो फीडबैक ले लेते हैं थोड़ा बहुत, देन विल मूव टू नेक्स्ट कैंडिडेट। ठीक है, हार्दिक, आई डिड नॉट लाइक योर इंट्रोडक्शन। क्या इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे हो भाई, कैसे इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे हो? वेरी अनऑर्गेनाइज इंट्रोडक्शन। यू गाइस नीड टू वर्क ऑन योर इंट्रोडक्शन इन अ वेरी सोबर वे। राइट, कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है ना? तो कहाँ से चल रहा है, कहाँ जा रहा है? राइट, एंड सेकेंड थिंग, राइट, आई डोंट नो, यू अगेन डिड नॉट हैव अ गुड स्टोरी लाइन फॉर you. Again, you're highlighting something which you don't need to highlight. Yes, you're highlighting, देखो भाई मैंने दुनिया को बोल रहा हूँ मैंने अटेम्प्ट लिए, वाह। You said that I started my CA journey in 2014. I was like, wow. और चिल्ला चिल्ला के बोल दो, हाँ? Everyone will come to know that you have taken 9 years. Ideally, it take 5 years to complete a CA journey. Additional 4 years, that means you have 8 attempts in your journey. खत्म। एक बच्चा भी निकाल सकता है ये। Why you're highlighting your weakness in your introduction? इंट्रोडक्शन से ही मैं तो भाई वहां से भरोसा उठ गया। वे क्या कर रहे हो? सेकंड, राइट, इफ यू आर वर्किंग एट सम अदर प्लेसेस, राइट, यू अगेन नीड टू बिल्ड अ गुड स्टोरी लाइन दैट व्हाई यू शिफ्टेड इट आउट फ्रॉम दैट, ऑल्दो यू हैव कवर्ड इट इन अ नाइस वे, बट वहां पे आई गिवन अ गुगली। आई सेड चलो बताओ, व्हाट वुड यू डू इफ यू डोंट गेट इनटू स्टार्ट ऑडिट? राइट, so again you should have tried to spoken more that कि sir, after doing a research I found out that start audit is a domain where I wanted to get into. आपने फाइट नहीं किया, आपने सीधा बोला हम तो इंटरनल ऑडिट करेंगे सर, we'll do internal audit and forensic sir. I was like wow, huh? Directly went into the summary of the answer. Next, when you're answering it, was there, and you know started speaking in Hindi. मतलब, अरे मतलब क्या होता है भाई? If you're speaking in English, speak in English. If you're speaking in Hindi, speak in Hindi. But ideally, you should not speak in Hindi during your introduction. Next, your COVID story was not satisfied. है ना? I asked you what happened. You said COVID, and you started talking about May 2020 में attempt नहीं हुआ था, all this nonsense stuff, right? And then you started talking about कि कोविड में मुझे कोविड हुआ था and all this stuff, but it was very unorganized. This not felt like it was more of a genuine, although it might be genuine, but the problem is the delivery is not coming in. आप समझ रहे हो? डिलीवरी पे आपको उस पर काम करना है। नेक्स्ट, फर्स्ट थिंग व्हिच यू हैव रिटन इन योर रिज्यूमे इज इंड एस। वाओ, वेरी गुड। अगर आपने सीवी खुद का देखा होगा अच्छे से, तो पहला चीज ही आपने लिखा है इंक्लूडिंग आईएफआरएस एंड गैप। भाई तो if you've written IFRS and GAAP, so you should know what is the applicability of IFRS. Next question, I would have also asked you what is the difference between Ind AS and IFRS. है ना? So you should be again very particular about the words which you have written in your resume. ठीक है? चलो, anyone other of you have written all the questions? I wanted to discuss the questions. किसी ने questions लिखे हैं और कि बैठ के मजे ले रहे थे तुम लोग? हाँ, मजा तो बहुत आ रहा है मेरे को हार्दिक को ग्रिल होते हुए देखते हुए। हाँ Hardik, so sorry, don't take it otherwise, but it was for a benefit for you, right? I'm giving you the reality check, what all you need to work on. ठीक है, तो गुस्से में आके please don't unfollow me on Instagram, हाँ? Yes.
सर एक बार थोड़ी टिप्स भी दे देते, जैसे ये क्वेश्चन अगर वहां आ गए तो।
कौन सा?
जैसे मान लो बेर एक बता दिया, या फिर आई हैव टू सर्च फॉर इट, या फिर मटेरियलिटी कैसे डिटरमाइन करूं ना एक्सेल शीट।
तो ये तो एकदम बेसिक चीजें है ना? अब देखो मटेरियलिटी का तुम ज्ञान दे रहे थे ना, द प्रॉब्लम वाज यू आर नॉट स्पीकिंग द राइट आंसर्स, है ना? आई वांटेड टू प्रूव यू दैट कि आप फेक कर रहे हो, या तो आपने काम नहीं किया उस एरिया में, मुझे देखना था जेन्युइनली कि आपने कितना काम किया है। अगर आपने फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स डाउनलोड किए तो यू शुड फर्स्ट आस्क मी कि सर बिफोर फाइंडिंग अ मटेरियलिटी आई नीड टू असेस द रिस्क। ये आपने बोला ही नहीं, आप फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट चौड़ में डाउनलोड करके बैठ गए। वाओ, यू आर जस्ट शोइंग इट टू मी कि देखो मेरे को स्क्रीनर चलाते आता है, गूगल चलाते आता है। दैट वाज अ प्रॉब्लम। You should have counter questioned me. I just wanted to see how genuinely you have done it. Right? Materiality में again, I don't know how many of you are aware of it. पता है कि नहीं, अगर रिस्क ज्यादा है तो again, अगर materiality amount will be less. I hope you know this, every one of you. Yes? कहाँ पूछा तुमने रिस्क? तुम तो चालू हो गए अदानी ग्रीन को लेके. Right? So for that you need to understand what is happening. What I always say is fake it till the time you can make it, but you're not able to make it. आप समझ रहे हो? तो थोड़ा सा जो ब्रशअप करना है ना आपको बेसिक्स पे, वो ब्रशअप करो. Everything which is given in the material, again, you don't need to ratify it, yaar. Audit is something which you need to learn practically. And you cannot say that कि हाँ 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 मैंने देख लिया तो हो जाएगा. नहीं भाई, you should know it practically, guys. Again, I am requesting you few basic things. बेयर एक पढ़ते आना चाहिए. Whichever interview you're going, either direct tax, indirect tax, companies have started giving the bare acts. सच बता रहा हूँ, उनको नहीं पता क्या कि मतलब दे ऑल्सो नोज दिस कि यार कैंडिडेट्स कैसे प्रिपेयर करते हैं. उनको भी पता है कैंडिडेट्स कैसे रट्टा मारते हैं. एंड दे वांट अ जेन्युइन कैंडिडेट डू देयर वर्क. एंड फॉर जेन्युइन कैंडिडेट्स दे आर गोना बी गिविंग यू द केस स्टडी द वे आई एम गिविंग इट टू यू नाउ. केस स्टडी दे रहे थे आपको भी, केस स्टडी सॉल्व करते आनी चाहिए गाइस. आई होप इट इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू. आई एम नॉट मेकिंग यू स्केयर, आई एम मेकिंग यू अवेयर टू प्रिपेयर वेल. ठीक है ना. जो भी आज सेशन में कवर होगा मोटा मोटी, राइट, मेजरली थिंग्स आई एम गोना बी कवरिंग इन अ वेरी टफेस्ट वे. ऑल्दो मेनी अ टाइम्स इतना टफ भी नहीं होता इंटरव्यू, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, राइट. बट आई लव टू ग्रिल मोर so that you are prepared more, and you should thank me later with a box of sweets. अरे टफ चीजें मेरे को, मेरा इंटरव्यू क्रैक कर लिया ना, ये क्रैक हो गया ना तो सब क्रैक हो जाता है ना. तो लेट्स प्रिपेयर फॉर द टफेस्ट थिंग. क्लियर है? टफ चीज निकल गई तो इजी चीज तो वैसे निकल जाएगा. आपको फील होगा इंटरव्यूअर के पास क्वेश्चन नहीं है, ले भाई तू मेरे से क्वेश्चन पूछ, मैं तेरे को बताती हूँ क्या पूछना होता है. ठीक है? दैट इज ऑल्सो अ पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम विच विल कम इनटू इट. ठीक है, चलो. एनीवन हैव रिटन ऑल द क्वेश्चंस? किसने लिखे हैं यार? डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. हाँ, अदिति जी ने लिखे हैं शायद. हाँ, यस अदिति जी,
Yes, sir.
प्लीज इफ यू
Am
कुड
I audible, sir?
रीड लाउड. ऑडिबल.
Yeah, step-to-step process of audit.
हाँ, स्टेप टू स्टेप प्रोसेस ऑफ ऑडिट. भाई क्या बोल रहे हो तुम? राइट, वेरी बेसिक स्टेप, प्री प्लानिंग स्टेप. आई डोंट नो इफ यू हैव माय मटेरियल और नॉट. क्लियरली उसमें लिखा है, आधी चीजें तो आप बोल ही नहीं रहे हो. राइट, यू जस्ट स्टार्टेड विद एंगेजमेंट लेटर साइन कर लेंगे. आई वाज लाइक वाओ. अगेन प्लीज टॉक अबाउट इट. इंडिपेंडेंस के बारे में आपने बात नहीं किया. अनपब्लिश्ड प्राइस सेंसिटिव इंफॉर्मेशन, यू हैव जस्ट अगेन मिस्ड इट आउट. देन यू डिड नॉट टॉक अबाउट द बैकग्राउंड चेक ऑफ अ प्रीवियस क्लाइंट्स. राइट, नेक्स्ट. बेटा म्यूट पे चली गई. म्यूट पे हो? अच्छा, अनम्यूट नहीं हो पा रहा है. हाँ,
Yes, sir. The next was most important part of engagement letter.
yes, very basic thing भाई. If you're doing an audit, you should know how does engagement letter looks like. अगर नहीं देखा तो बेटा जाओ स्टैट ऑडिट मास्टर क्लास देखो, वहां पूरा फॉर्मेट डला हुआ है ना. See it properly, है ना. और उसमें बेसिक चीज मैंने नोट्स में भी लिखी है. If you have my notes, right, it says engagement letter में again you are going to be focusing more on scope of work, timelines, fees, gap applicability, है ना, and responsibilities. ये 4 से 5 चीजें आप देखोगे, राइट, व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू बी साइनिंग एन एंगेजमेंट लेटर, है ना. फीस तो इंपॉर्टेंट है. तुम सिर्फ बोलो कि नहीं मैं सिर्फ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी देखूंगा. अरे रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी सबको पता है. ऑडिटर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी क्या है? ऑडिट करना. मैनेजमेंट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी क्या है? डेटा देना. खत्म. इससे ज्यादा क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑडिटर की? हाँ, ट्रू एंड फेयर व्यू देना. डिपेंडिंग ऑन क्लाइंट, जोक्स अपार्ट, बट यस. ठीक है, तो ये चीज है हार्दिक, व्हिच वाज देयर.
Next was previous auditor's confirmation, which confirmation to be asked from the previous
हाँ.
auditor, and difference between positive and
Yes, so
negative.
you'll send a negative confirmation to the previous auditor. That is clear. But यहाँ पे मजेदार चीज आपने करना चालू कर दी. Right? I asked you उल्टा क्वेश्चन. चलो बताओ, where all places you will send a negative confirmation? You started saying debtors confirmation. Wow. वहीं पे मेरी दिल की धड़कनें रुक गई. I like what you're saying, भाई. if your data does not reply, you will assume that the data balance is correct. वाह भाई, ऐसे ऑडिट होने लग गया तो फिर तो बात ही खत्म हो गई, है ना। तो यहाँ पे फिर से मेरा ट्रस्ट वन चला गया था कि आपने थोड़ा एक्सपोजर थोड़ा गड़बड़ कर रहे हो. It feels that you don't understand the concept of negative confirmation. Clear है? Negative confirmation मतलब क्या होता है? If the other party does not reply, we'll assume that कि सब सही है. ठीक है, तो ये सब चीजों में आपको करना पड़ेगा, right? Yes.
Next was Ind AS applicability.
This is very basic, guys. Please see it out whether Ind AS is applicable to NBFCs, whether Ind AS is applicable to banking companies. ये पूछा जाता है, especially if you're sitting for interview for FS. I hope you understand what is FS, Financial Services Sector के interview में. This is a basic question which is going to be asked. कि आपको पता है कि नहीं applicability. ठीक है, next.
Next was what is the next step after background check.
क्या next question was?
Next step after background check.
हाँ.
You asked him for like steps for the audit, no? तो
अच्छा ठीक है, हाँ. I think he went to next step of a planning.
Risk. Risk के पे गया था.
अच्छा, risk पे चला गया था. Okay.
Then you asked what is risk.
हाँ. What is risk? पूछ कुछ और रहा हूँ. He's saying नहीं मैं तो audit risk ही बताऊंगा. मेरे definition में वही पढ़ा था, मेरे notes में वही लिखा था. ठीक है, तो again don't change the answer what interviewer is asking, guys. You need to answer what interviewer is asking. ठीक है, but no problem. Next.
How to calculate materiality.
हाँ. सर कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं, हार्दिक जी बताइए. व्हाट यू सेड? हाँ, हाउ डू मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. मैं नहीं बोल रहा, मैं आपको नहीं जानता सर, आप कौन हो.
प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपोजर बिल्कुल नहीं उस चीज का.
भाई देखना, मास्टर क्लास बनाई है तेरे को तो चिल्ला के बोल रहा हूँ. हाँ,
एवरीथिंग इज ओपन.
हाँ,
कल ही तो कूपन आया, आप देखेंगे ना.
अरे भाई ठीक है. हाँ, तो हाउ टू कैलकुलेट अ मर्टिलिटी, गाइस अगेन अंडरस्टैंड इट इन अ वेरी नाइस वे. सबसे पहले उसमें मैंने पूरा स्टेप लिखा हुआ है, राइट. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द कंपनीज रिस्क, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द फाइनेंशियल्स, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द टाइप ऑफ एंटिटी. एवरी टाइप ऑफ एंटिटी हैव अ डिफरेंट वे टू कैलकुलेट अ मर्टिलिटी. पता है कि नहीं? इफ इट इज अ स्टार्टअप एंटिटी, we need to see it out what is happening in a company. But one thing which you need to understand is what is the focus of the investors into the company.
Financial users.
Based on the what is the focus of the users of the financial statements. उनका कहाँ पे focus है? Based on that you are going to be deciding the basis of mortality mostly. इसके अलावा again other parameters are there which I have just covered it out. ठीक है, तो ये चीज थोड़ा सा ध्यान में रखना है. मर्टिलिटी पे बहुत ज्यादा ग्रिल करते हैं, राइट. विच ऑल लेवल यू विल कैलकुलेट अ मर्टिलिटी, हाउ डू यू कैलकुलेट अ मर्टिलिटी, ये थोड़ा सा पूछा जाएगा. नाउ इफ दे गिव यू सम ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स लाइक आई हैव गिवन इट टू हिम, राइट, यू अगेन नीड टू क्रॉस क्वेश्चन इट कि सर रिस्क क्या है कंपनी का, राइट, व्हाट इज द फोकस, है ना. तो ये सब क्वेश्चंस आपको पूछने चाहिए थे. देन ओनली यू शुड हैव स्टार्टेड डूइंग इट. आप नहीं तो बस चालू कर दिए. ठीक है, तो दैट शुड नॉट बी देयर. यू शुड हैव आस्क्ड अ क्रॉस क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे आई डोंट नो मेरे नोट्स को इफ आई शेयर इट. हाँ, एक बार मैं दिखा देता हूँ फॉर द पीपल दोज हु डोंट नो. राइट, इट्स ऑन द पेज नंबर 4. इफ यू गाइस डोंट हैव माय नोट्स प्लीज डाउनलोड इट. राइट, आई थिंक इट इज शेयर्ड एट ऑल द सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स. टेलीग्राम पे भी मिल जाएंगे आपको, बाकी जगह भी मिल जाएंगे. ठीक है, तो दैट इज देयर. ठीक है ना, मैं शेयर भी करके दिखा देता हूँ. तो कुछ लोग बोलेंगे आई एम नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड, है ना. विल ऑल्सो शेयर इट इन आवर व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप टुडे, तो वहां पे भी मिल जाएंगे आपको. ठीक है भाई, बहुत अच्छे से बनाए हैं नोट्स, हर एक चीज को ध्यान रख के बनाया है. ऑडिट की किताब अलग है, अगेन आई एम सेइंग इट, ऑडिट की किताब अलग है, ये नोट्स बहुत अलग है. राइट, इफ यू कुड सी इट आउट फैक्टर्स दैट मे अफेक्ट द परसेंटेज. अब इस पे भी ग्रिल करते हैं बहुत ज्यादा. दिस इज अगेन अ फेवरेट बेसिस कि व्हाट परसेंटेज यू विल सिलेक्ट. आपने बोला आई विल यूज रेवेन्यू एज अ बेसिस, देन आई विल आस्क यू व्हाट परसेंटेज यू विल चूज. तो अगेन यू नीड टू टेल देम हाउ डू यू डिफाइन दैट परसेंटेज. ठीक है, तो वो चीज आपको ध्यान में रखनी है. तो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज गोना बी आस्क्ड. फैक्टर्स दैट मे अफेक्ट द आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ अप्रोप्रिएट बेंचमार्क, ये चीज पे आपको बात करना था. ठीक है, तो अगेन दैट इज देयर. इसके अलावा ये डिफरेंट टेबल मैंने दिया है कि क्या चीज होगा. एंड वन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज कि डिटरमाइन द मटेरियल, सी व्हाट यूजर्स ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट आर रियली फोकसिंग ऑन. ये चीज आपको ध्यान में देना है. ठीक है, यस. व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन मैम?
Control testing. What is control testing?
हाँ, कंट्रोल टेस्टिंग, राइट. तो अगेन यहाँ पे आई हैव कवर्ड इट आउट इन अ वेरी डिटेल्ड वे. नेक्स्ट, आईएफसी एप्लीकेबिलिटी, आई थिंक. हाँ, तो आईएफसी एप्लीकेबिलिटी भी यहाँ पे मैंने डाला हुआ है भाई. प्लीज 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 जाके देखो बेरेक में कैसे ढूंढा जाता है, राइट. यू शुड नो वे टू गो इनटू द एमसीए वेबसाइट. एंड द बेस्ट पार्ट अबाउट आईएफसी, मैंने आईएफसी का इसलिए दिया ना, इवन इफ यू वुड हैव ओपन द बेयर एक्ट, यू वुड नॉट हैव बीन एबल टू फाइंड इट आउट. हाँ जी, बिकॉज इसका एक अलग से नोटिफिकेशन आया था एग्जाम्शन का. समझ रहे हो, मैं जानबूझ के देखना चाहता था कि आपको कितना पता है, राइट. ओनली द पीपल दोज हु आर हार्डकोर ऑडिटर वुड हैव नोन दिस. अगर आपने मेरे नोट्स को अच्छे से पढ़ा है, देखो क्या लिखा है. एमसीए वाया नोटिफाइड है ना, नोटिफिकेशन इज एग्जम्प्टेड फ्रॉम अ कंपनीज. भाई देखो, एवरी वर्ड हैव बीन रिटन इन नोट्स इन अ वेरी प्रिसाइज वे. बहुत मेहनत लगी, मैं बता रहा हूँ, नोट्स बनाने को. आपको लगता है मजाक, ठीक है. तो ये नोटिफिकेशन के द्वारा बताया गया था. अगर आप बेरेक खोल भी लेते तो भी आपको मिलता नहीं, ठीक है. बट दैट इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. ठीक है. ये हार्दिक बोल रहा है ये तो गलत किया सर आपने. नो प्रॉब्लम. नेक्स्ट.
Next was sample size selection.
हाँ, सैंपल साइज सिलेक्शन, राइट. तो अगेन सैंपल साइज सिलेक्शन है. मैंने मेथड नहीं बोला, मैंने साइज बोला. आप सुन कुछ और रहे हो, बोल कुछ और रहे हो भाई. समझ रहे हो, which itself indicates that you are not a good listener. Don't take it otherwise, but yes, मैं बोल रहा हूँ कैसे सैंपल साइज सिलेक्ट करोगे. आप बोले हम मेथड्स, हम लोग ब्लॉक सैंपल यूज करेंगे, हम लोग हेफासाइट सैंपल यूज करेंगे. ये है सैंपल साइज सिलेक्शन का टेबल कि हाउ डू यू डिसाइड द सैंपल साइज सिलेक्शन. गेटिंग राइट. तो प्लीज लिसन द क्वेश्चंस केयरफुली यार. मतलब आई डोंट नो, दिस इज आल्सो गोना बी, दिस आल्सो हैपेंस विद व्हेन वी आर राइटिंग एग्जाम्स. एग्जाम में भी यही करते हैं, ठीक है. ये सैंपल साइज सिलेक्शन से, राइट, हाउ डू यू सिलेक्ट द सैंपल. एंड ये मेथड से, जो आप बोल रहे थे वो मेथड से, ठीक है. दैट इज देयर. यस. नेक्स्ट.
Sir, these were all.
हाँ?
उसके बाद these were all. उसके बाद बेयर एक्ट का और वो
तो बस इतना ही पूछा तुमको क्या यार. हाँ, अभी तो मेरे को लग रहा है आई कैन टेक अ सेशन फॉर नेक्स्ट 3 आवर्स. अभी और 3 घंटा चल सकता है सेशन. चलो नेक्स्ट. ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम. आगे बढ़े. डन. शुड वी मूव फॉरवर्ड? यस, नो, नो, यस गाइस इन द चैट. नेक्स्ट कैंडिडेट. नेक्स्ट कैंडिडेट कौन आना चाहता है? क्या बोल रही हो दीपिका, आपको आना है? हाँ, क्या बोल रही हो दीपिका?
सर लाइव स्टेशन में तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं.
इतना क्या कर रही हो तुम?
बेइज्जती अपने मॉम वाली कम्युनिटी में होनी चाहिए, लाइव पूरी दुनिया के सामने में.
अरे अच्छा है ना, प्रिपेयर हो जाओगी. चार हार्दिक को देखो
नहीं
अभी.
नहीं
हार्दिक,
सर, कुछ
हाँ,
सर
हार्दिक चूज
मैंने
करेगा.
तो कुछ नहीं
हाँ,
पता. सर मैं अभी सिर्फ सेशंस अटेंड कर रही हूँ, प्रिपेयर नहीं कर पा रही हूँ. मेरे घर पे
इसलिए हम
फंक्शन चल
प्रिपेयर
रहा है,
करवाना
वो
चाहते
सब
हैं
छोड़
बेटा
के
आपको.
बैठी हूँ.
प्रिपेयर
सर
करवाना
वो सब
चाहते हैं
छोड़ के
आपको.
बैठे हूँ सर.
मेरे पास
सर मैंने
मैसेजेस आ रहे हैं
पढ़ाई
लाइव
नहीं
के.
है क्वेश्चन में.
क्या क्या हार्दिक, क्या हो गया?
मेरे पास मैसेजेस आ रहे हैं, मतलब एचडीएफसी के जो थे ना एम्प्लॉय साथ में कलीग्स, उनके मैसेज आ रहा है. पूरी टीम ने लाइव देखा है, मजा आ गया.
अच्छा. ओ भाई, तुमने क्या सबको लिंक भेज के रखी थी क्या? हाँ. भाई, ये
नहीं
पुरानी
नहीं, मैंने
कंपनी
किसी को
की.
कुछ भी नहीं भेजा था.
तो
मैंने कुछ भी नहीं भेजा था. वो पता नहीं, नोटिफिकेशन आया होगा, सीएमओ फॉलो कर रहे होंगे.
हाँ, अच्छा चलो.
पूरी टीम ने लाइव देखा है.
अच्छा चलो, बढ़िया है, अच्छी बात है. वो मिला होगा तुमको, क्या कहते हैं, सहानुभूति, क्या बोलते हैं, मेंटल सपोर्ट. चलो बढ़िया है. नेक्स्ट आगे. खुशी जी,
हाँ जी सर, मैंने आपको भेज दिया है.
रेडियो.
हाँ सर, बस थोड़ा लीनियंट रहे ना.
थोड़ा सा लीनियंट रहूंगा. इजी इंटरव्यू तो वैसे ही फोड़ लोगे यार. टफ चीजें फोड़ो तो मजा आना चाहिए लाइफ में. हाँ, नहीं मिला मैम, सीवी नहीं दिख रहा है. मेल कीजिए.
और सर शिवम डॉट पी, ये सी एम वाला ही ना आपकी
हाँ जी, हाँ जी,
आईडी?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
एक मिनट में दोबारा करते हैं.
अरे यू शुड बी थैंकफुल टू मी. आई एम ग्रिलिंग यू एटलीस्ट. नाउ यू आर प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर इट. हाँ, ऑलमोस्ट मोस्ट सब चीजें खत्म हो जाएगी यहाँ से. आई थिंक आई विल ट्राई टू कवर मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चंस टुडे सो दैट यू आर गोना बी प्रिपेयर्ड.
सर खुशी के नाम से आपको नहीं मिला?
नहीं मिला? अच्छा, रजनी बोल रही है सर मेरा नहीं ले रहे.
हाँ.
रजनी तुम्हारा भी लेंगे, टेंशन मत लो. तुम्हारा कंक्लूजन स्टेज तक आज आके हुए लेंगे एंड में, तब तक तुम पढ़ लो कंक्लूजन स्टेज, जाओ। ऑल्सो टेक हाउ टू ऑडिट फिक्स एसेट। बेटा अभी पीएनएल और बैलेंस शीट आइटम हुआ ही नहीं है, डोंट वरी। अभी पीएनएल और बैलेंस शीट आइटम में जब घुसूंगा तो एक एक आइटम में ग्रिल होने वाले हैं सब, ठीक है। हाँ, जिसको देना है मॉक इंटरव्यूज रेडी रहो, सीवी रेडी रखो, राइट। मैं जब कॉल करूंगा देन यू नीड टू सेंड इट। चैट पे डाल दो बेटा, चैट पे प्राइवेटली मेरे को डाल दो।
ओके सर।
चलो तब तक कहते हैं खुशी का चालू करते हैं। नहीं खुशी नहीं, कौन थी, रजनी।
सर
ठीक है,
बस एक मिनट रुक जाओ, मेरा होने वाला है, मैं आपको भेज रही हूँ अभी, बस एक सेकंड आप होल्ड करो।
सर इतनी देर में आप ये बता दो ना, मेरा कैंपस पोर्टल का ना पासवर्ड मैं भूल गई हूँ और वहाँ फॉरगेट पासवर्ड का ऑप्शन नहीं है, क्या करूँ?
वाह, ऐसे काम ही क्यों करती हो?
सर वो हिस्ट्री डिलीट किया ना, पता नहीं शायद उसी में डिलीट हो गया था, सेव करके रखा था। आईसीआई को मेल तो लिखा है सीए जॉब्स वाले पे, लेकिन और कुछ है सर ऑप्शन?
फॉलो करो, चैट पे डालो ना खुशी फट से। इतना टाइम प्रिंसिपल देता है नहीं सर ऑडिट करने के लिए। वाह, जयसवाल राहुल जी कह रहे हैं यूट्यूब लाइव चैट में कि सर आप जो पूछ रहे हो ना, इतना टाइम तो प्रिंसिपल हमें नहीं देता ये सब चीजें करने के लिए, शर्म करो। विल यू गिव दिस आंसर टू एन इंटरव्यूअर? नो, अभी नहीं दे रहे तो अभी करो, खत्म। इंटरव्यू देने का मन भी करता है और डर भी लगता है। अच्छा भावेश ने बहुत बढ़िया लिखा है, सर आप जो पूछ रहे हैं उतना तो प्रिंसिपल को भी नहीं आता होगा। हाँ, उनको भी बोलो कि जीआई मास्टर क्लास लेंगे। अच्छा रुको यार, रजनी का लेते हैं, तब तक आप भेजो, अगला आपका लेंगे। टाइम नहीं है ना अभी, टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करते। यस रजनी जी रेडी?
यस सर।
Others, I hope request you to please note down all the questions. है ना? चलो, let's start. So great, Rajni ji, I got your resume. I'm really happy to see that you have applied in Big Four interview. I am the director of EY, right? And just got your resume. Can you just give a brief introduction about yourself?
First of all, I want to say very thank you to sir. First time I am talking with some director, although it is an interview, but first time I am seeing some director in front of me. Yeah, come to me that my name is Rajni Kumari. I recently qualified in the May 23 attempt. If I talk about what kind of person I am a person who see every day with full of challenges and work on it and convert it into results. I'm also engaged some social works to provide the food to the unprivileged children. And if I talk about my articleship and the CA journey, so articleship, I done articleship with the Devki Vijayan company, and it is a renowned firm for the audit, taxation, internal and external audit in the Ranchi itself. That is my hometown, city of MS Dhoni. And then I moved to Delhi, and I also worked in the Kapoor Tandon and Company. It is also a very renowned firm in Kanpur as well as in Delhi. Kanpur, it has in the 20 years back, it was top 8 company of the India, and in the Kapoor Tandon and Company, I also worked for stat audit, internal audit, and I definitely, after doing the stat and internal for the construction company, for the mechanicals, for the manufacturing company. So yes, definitely I understand how important it is, and the value. The stat audit is very, very important for the compliance, but actually internal audit is also very important for the organization point of view. When we go through the process in very detail, and when we tell the organization what improvement they can and how they can get benefited. So definitely I appreciate stat audit as well as internal audit both, and that's why I want to work with this domain. That's
No problem. So you're saying that you have completed your articleship in March 2017, right?
yes.
Okay. What have you done after that? Other than working in Kapoor and Company?
Actually, few years of my life was definitely the learning experience or struggling. So that is completely out of the part of my academic career. Yeah, it was a break, but it was the things I was personally handling, how you can tackle the situations in your life. Academic is definitely important, but everyone, like you are very senior, so you also understand academic is different part of life, and when the real challenges comes to the life is definitely how to live the life is different thing. So that I learned in those phases.
What happened exactly to you?
So it was not it was related to all me. I learned lot of things. So
I hope everything was okay.
pardon, sir.
I think everything is okay now, right?
Yes, now is from the last 2 years, everything is okay. I'm back in my career again. So yeah, even yeah, you see my CV, it is a long term, but I cleared my group 1 in the previous attempt, and I cleared my group 2 in this attempt. So I cleared my exams consecutively.
Hmm. But you have done your work long back. I hope you remember the work which you have done in your journey.
Sir, I work long back in that was my articleship, but after that I am working from the last 2 years with the Kapoor and Tandon. So you cannot like I am in touch with the industry.
Achha. No problem. Let's see. Okay. Now, I just wanted to understand from few areas which you have done in your articleship. I hope you have done a control testing.
Control, yes, I was when I was working with one of my client internal audit, I done the control testing.
Oh, great. Why do we need controls?
Why we don't need control? Definitely controls are required for every process. If you don't impose the control, how you can do the things in how you can detect anything not going as per your planning, or anything that you need to detect, prevent any error has happened, then definitely control is required.
Okay. Can we reduce the substantive testing based on control testing?
Substantive risk.
Can we reduce the substantive testing based on control testing?
Yes, if you do the control testing, and control testing is very good as per the performance, or as per the criteria, then definitely we can do some less work on the substantive area.
How do you define the control is good or bad? Ideally, it is never good or bad. It's effective or
It's
ineffective.
all about how effectively it is operating.
Okay. How do you test it?
So if I if if I take about the very practical example, like when I was in internal audit, there was a control testing for the security. I was also the part of the team, so I can just explain. So what was there in the last year when we given the report, the very basic example, but we focused on that, like the in the for the control, any organization, any plant has a security guard room. So there was a guard, okay, and the monitor of the CCTV camera was back on the guard. Okay, so guard is not even able to see what was going on. Even all the things are recording in the CCTV. So when we go there and we noticed what is this, why CCTV monitor is not front of you. So that's the even very small thing, but we reported in the our report, and then organization had changed the things. So even a few what the CCTV was like with full of dust, like it was not working from many months. So what we reported on these things. So these are the very small things, but yeah, how did we control testing? These are the examples that I quoted.
Can you give me an example of non-financial control?
Non-financial controls. So what I said now, right now, it is also related to non-financial control.
Other than this?
Other than this non-financial control. So HR, so from my practical aspect, I'm not able to recall right now.
Any example of financial control?
Financial controls, so like I have gone through their purchase process. So of course there are financial controls for like when they place the order. for like casting. It was a machine manufacturing company. So the casting part or the paints on the iron parts, they sent on the work. Excuse me, sir. So I'm getting confused somewhere. You asked about the financial control. Yeah. So what was the contract? Contract would, when they send work on the outsource, contract was they will get into back within the 4 to 5 days. But in their SAP, it was recorded for they can receive within 1 year. So when we ask the practical thing, why this is not mentioned in your in your system, it should be received within 4 to 5 months. So they asked, ma'am, if we don't receive, then that's why we take this much the year gap. So this is also the financial control when they don't receive the things. Sir, I'm somewhere messing up. I don't know.
No problem. Why do we need non-financial control?
Non-financial controls also affects our organization to the large extent.
How?
Non-financial controls. So if I talk about the HR perspective, employees are coming, what the time employees are entering into the organization, what time they are out, they are going out of the organization. These are also important things. Like the security controls is also important. Of course, non-financials are very important. So the financial is important, but for getting the financial benefits or getting the financial results, non-financials are definitely part of it. We cannot
No
ignore.
problem. How do you identify ghost employee?
Cost to employ.
Ghost employee.
So
How do you identify ghost employee?
post employ that. Okay. Uh, for that I practically what I did, when I visited to a plant, so there was a guard. Okay, and I personally, there was 200 employees or workers are working there. So I called the guard with the register, and I personally went to one by one, around 50 workers, and asked their name and asked how, on which time they entered our organization. So for this, I definitely recognize is there any ghost employee or not.
Wow, very good. Imagine that a company of 20,000 employees. So you'll go to every 20,000 employee, and
No,
each
it's not
day you
possible.
talk to 100 employees. You take
No,
3 years to complete an audit,
sir,
right?
I just share what I did. I just share what I did.
But how you'll do in 20,000 case of 20,000 employees? How do you
So,
identify ghost employee?
then we will take the data of the biometric attendance system.
Hmm.
Biometric attendance system, we can check.
Company don't have a biometric, or there are few people who work on a sales ground.
So for the sales ground, there is also biometric system or
Wow.
employee ID card. Employee ID card organization issues for the salesperson also. There are some OD system for the salesperson that I have sent in company. That's why I'm just saying.
ID card is different, biometric is different, for your information. How do you identify a ghost employee for a company with a 20,000 employee count?
So there is a HR team who selected the number of employee. There is the list how many employees are working there. Okay.
So we have added 10,000 employees as a fake employees. But how do you identify this 10,000 fake employees? I hope you know the case of Satyam.
Yeah, so we can also visit the visitor register.
Wow.
Actually, I have checked this. That's the thing only.
Wow.
I'm saying. I didn't
Visitor
work.
register will give you.
I didn't work with such a big client. So
But you should know it. You're an auditor.
yeah, if I get the situation, definitely I will research the thing.
You got a situation.
Then
Research it. Research it. Share your screen. Research on Google. Please do. But I want the answer.
So my screen is visible.
It's not visible.
Not visible. Now it is.
No. Yes, it is visible now. Only the whiteboard. I hope you're aware of how to share the screen.
Yes, aware of. Just give me a. Select earlier.
Others are requested to think the points which you'll say. It's one of the most important question in interview.
So now it's okay.
Yeah, now it's fine. How do you identify ghost employee in audit report? Okay, no problem. I think you'll not say me to book the consultation. Huh? Tell me what all things you will do. Yes, ma'am, waiting for answer, please.
So not able to answer it quickly.
Are?
Not able to answer quickly. I need to take time, like design the process. What are the things going on? So
No problem. How much you'll rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 for research?
for research, just 5 only.
No problem. Okay, next. What is O2C?
O2C, order to cash.
Hmm.
So this is a process like when we place the order, like we get the order from the customer, and the time cycle when we receive the revenue, receive the cash from the customer.
Hmm.
So should I explain the whole process?
No problem. Should the duration of order to cash lower the better or higher the better?
Lower the better.
Lower the better. Okay. I would give you one or two what could go wrong. You need to map it with controls. Right? What control you'll plot it out for that what could go wrong. Okay. So the what could go wrong is what ensures the existence and recoverability of account receivable balances. So imagine that a debtor balance is 10 crore, right? How do you ensure that this balance is true?
So we will see like we issued the invoice or not regarding the same.
Next.
Next, we can get the confirmation as per auditing standard 505. And before that, like sometimes there is an issue like invoice can be fake. So we can see the whole process and we can walk through like when the prospective customer has approached us, and when we process their SO, sales order, and then it goes to the production department, planning department. So if we check all the data are there, then we can say the data is correct.
If data don't reply on confirmation, then?
Sir, if they don't reply, we can send the second follow-up or third follow-up, and
Still
without,
they don't reply.
then we use the other process.
What other process?
Other process like, sir, if we get the, like from the, if we do the walkthrough and we didn't get the confirmation from the data, it's all okay. Like if we get how Sir, if they send their proposal, then we process the order and everything is on record. We delivered we
Wow.
delivered our goods on that. Then
We'll close it based on a control is effective. Then we'll say that even if the data don't reply, I rely on the balance which is given in the books of accounts, right? That is what you're trying to say.
so generally, what happens in the practical life? If organization is in touch with the data, then debtors replies.
He is not replying. He's a government data.
Yeah.
You know how the government customers are.
I know.
बताइए आप.
Then we will send the negative confirmation.
Wow. If you can't solve the problem, change the problem. Or change the solution only. Wow. ऐसे तो मैं तो फिर fake books of accounts बना के and send the negative confirmation to all of them.
Sir, if you are saying that data is fake, then whole department, every person of the department cannot be engaged on that. If the organization want to do that, then it is allowable. Then we can.
Organization have done it in past. You are an auditor. You should have a check on it. No? No problem. Okay. What will happen if the bank reconciliation is not prepared on monthly basis? Or what could go wrong if the BRS is not prepared by company?
BRS.
I hope you understand what BRS is. Bank reconciliation statement.
If BRS is not prepared, then what can go wrong? What can go wrong? It might possible there are lots of cash withdrawals from the bank and there is no record on that. The checks issued, but what happened with the check? So these are the issues. There are mainly reasons are there might be the unauthorized withdrawals from the bank if you don't prepare the bank reconciliation.
Only that's it.
So there are like other things are also there, but like frauds and all these definitely causes.
Okay. What is teaming and leading?
Teaming and leading is a process related with the debtors. So when the organizations receive the person actually who receives the amount from the debtors, so for the first amount or few balances he withdraw for his personal, and then whatever subsequent balances he received from the debtors, he adjusts with the previous one. So this is the misappropriation of amount received from debtors.
Got it. What is BOM?
Bill of materiality. Bill of
I know the full
materials.
form.
No,
does that mean?
no, sir, actually you asked this, I'm saying to myself. Bill of material for that, like when we prepare a particular product, one item, then how much quantity and what are the raw materials, what are the resources we need to complete one quantity of the product, that is mentioned in the BOM.
Okay, got it. What is Schedule 2?
Schedule 2 for the depreciation. We calculate depreciation for the Companies Act, and there is the useful life mentioned and the scrap value. So we calculate by that.
Can we have a different useful life as compared to Schedule 2?
How many different lives?
Schedule 2 says 3 years. Can we take 5 years?
Yes, because you can claim lesser amount of depreciation, but you cannot claim the more amount of depreciation what is mentioned in the Schedule 2.
Are you sure?
Yes, if there is mention in the 3 years, you can take it 5 years. You can take it 5 years. If you take the 5 years, then
Can I take 10 years?
You can take more than that, but you cannot take less than that, sir.
Can I take 20 years?
So this is not reasonable. Like if there is useful life is 3 years, you can use it for 5 years. That's reasonable, but you cannot use for 20 years.
Sorry, I've purchased a laptop long back.
Sir,
it is working still 20 years. I want to take it 20 years.
Every asset has some useful life, sir.
So I'm taking it 20 years.
So this is not reasonable.
You only said
Depreciation,
that.
even it will get reduced to the salvage. It will.
So that is what I wanted to. That is why I'm trying to take it for 20 years, no?
So this should be reasonable. This should not be unreasonable. Like it is not beneficial for the organization even.
It's beneficial. That is why I'm doing it, no?
How it could be so?
I want to show more profit so that investors are happy.
Sir, I have gone through the depreciation chart. I didn't see all this. Generally, organizations do whatever mentioned in the standard.
Generally, if organizations started doing what is there in a standard, then why do we need an auditor?
Exactly.
Huh?
So we check it out. Then it should be reasonable.
Very good, huh? You're one day you'll come and say that we don't need to do an audit, huh? Everything company is following based on standard.
Sir, we will, after completing the audit, we will check out the things. Then only we will express the opinion organization is doing as per standard or not.
No problem. All right. What all things you will check when you are auditing PPE? An addition in PPE.
Basically, in the addition of PP, there are we check the organization. Firstly, if we see some additions in the organization that is physically available in the organization, that asset is or not. Then we go through the invoices and the reasonable price and all that. And for the PP, there are also the Caro reporting. So we also go.
Which clause?
What, sir?
Which clause? Caro reporting.
Clause 1.
How many sub-clauses are there in Caro reporting for PP?
5.
5 clauses.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Earlier it was 3. Now it is 5.
Okay. Please continue.
So if we go through the Caro reporting, then first one talks about the adequacy of the records. Like we.
No, I don't need Caro reporting. I need to know about addition and fixed assets.
So we check the assets are physically there or not, and then depreciation. Depreciation should be on the date of when they capitalize the asset, and basically what the asset. I have done only this.
Have you audited PP in your article or in your journey?
Yes.
Yes. What was the amount of fixed asset you have audited?
I'm not very sure, but it was addition was I think 5 crore around all over the pan India.
Okay. And what was the turnover of a company for which you have done it?
Turnover. I don't remember turnover. The profit is 450 crores. 450 crores.
What was the total fixed assets of the company?
Sir, I don't remember the data exactly.
Right. But you have audited it, no?
Yeah, I have audited it, but if you ask the data, I didn't remember.
Fixed asset turnover ratio.
Fixed assets turnover ratio. Fixed assets turnover. So, in respect of our turnover, fixed assets divided by turnover. Fixed assets turnover. In respect of our turnover, how much we have fixed assets? How many times we have fixed assets? No, sir. Sorry, I'm not able to answer right now exactly. I'm not confident about this.
Sorry, it's a basic of CA final, SFM, and I think you've studied and given a CA final, right?
That I did, but for the practical aspect, I'm not able to say right now. Saying wrong thing, it's better. Don't say.
Fixed asset turnover ratio, lower the better, higher the better.
Fixed assets turnover ratio. It should be low. Can't answer, sir. Sorry for that.
Have you genuinely audited fixed assets?
I have done through that, but for these, I'm not able to say anything right.
Okay. Any ratio which you are aware of? Any favorite ratio you're aware of?
Current assets, current liabilities.
Wow. No problem. I'll ask the question on that. Okay, what is the standard current ratio?
2:1.
2:1. Is it same for all the companies?
Of course, it's very company to company for the industry. It will definitely vary. It is standard 2:1, but
What is
it's,
the bad part about the current ratio?
if we have larger the debtor, it shows good. Sorry, sir.
You only said it's your favorite ratio. Now you say that I don't know.
It reflects the working capital debtors,
Do we need to report on ratios in Caro?
financials ratio in the CARO in the 21 clauses.
No.
For the 21 clauses, I think there is a ratio for the Nidhi company and NBFCs. Nidhi company, there are ratio net owned fund and other requirements, and for the NBFC company, there are like 50% of the asset should acquire from the financial assets, and all these things are there.
Are you sure?
Yes, for the Nidhi company and NBFC, there are ratio criteria, but for the other clauses, I don't think so.
Have you read Caro?
Yes.
Don't worry, we'll come to it in a while. What all things you'll check when you're doing a physical verification of PP?
Physical verification of PP.
Do we need to check or being an auditor, should you do a physical verification of PP?
Generally, we are not required. Management is required to do this.
At what frequency?
There is reasonable, but it should be 3 years, once in a 3 years.
Where it is written?
It is a standard guidelines issued by ICI somewhere.
Wow. Imagine that you goes to a client and you says to the client, show me your PP report. Right? Client says, nahi kiya hai. You says you need to do it. Client will ask where it is written. What will say? Standard guideline given by ICI. Wow. Others, those who have connected, if you want to answer it, you can answer all the questions on YouTube live. जिसको answers देने हैं YouTube live पे देते जाइए.
It is written in CARO itself, but I didn't read anywhere in CARO itself. There is 3 years that I'm very sure about it, but what is the source of this 3 years that I have not answered?
Very good. No problem. What is scrap sale?
Caps?
Scrap sale.
Scrap sale. Scrap sale, whenever there is a byproduct or byproduct is generated during the process, then organizations generally do the scrap sales for there we can adjust the scrap sale by our material cost, inventory cost. So what to answer?
I don't know. That is what I'm asking you. Okay. What is the biggest risk which you think is there in a treasury?
In
Treasury, cash and bank.
Treasury, flashes, banks. Issue of bank guarantee, fake bank guarantee. So you are asking about that treasury.
What is the biggest risk in cash and bank?
Okay, in cash and bank. Most of the organizations cash the unauthorized payment or the excess payments which is required. This happens generally.
How do you control it?
How do we control segregation of duties? And there are 2 or 3 levels of different persons involving in completing a one transaction that we can do segregation of duties.
Okay. No problem. Imagine that you're not able to perform the cash count on 31st March. What you will do?
If not able to, then we will perform on some other day, and we will make the adjustments for the cutoff date.
Imagine that you're again not able to do it some other day.
If not able to do on another day, then we will apply some other audit procedure
What is that other audit procedure?
that for the cash, what we can do. Cash, give me the cash. We can go through the cash register and whatever balances in the cash ledger, and we can make the adjustments for day after cutoff date or whatever withdrawal or deposits had made in the cash. So because cash is something we need to physically verify, and if you are not
company have 10,000 hubs. Imagine that you're doing it for Aditya Birla store, Pantaloons. Aditya Birla have had a lot of stores. How will you do a cash count?
cash count, they provide the detail with their ledger how much they have cash in their accounts, and we physically count the same.
Physically, client will say that will not sponsor a ticket to auditor for all the 500 or 600 or 10,000 hubs which you have. Nahi karna hai bhai. Then
For we will select the samples. We will do for 2 or 3 only. We are not
How-
going to all
how you
this.
will select the sample?
Generally we will check which branches has more cash, and is in the earlier year is there any not qualification but is any emphasis has issued by the auditor, or the management team has got any frauds or anything, then we will definitely select that branch also.
No problem. Got it? What is SOX audit?
What is?
SOX audit.
Sorry, sir. No, I didn't go through that, so I'm not able to answer right now.
No problem. Done. What are the assertions mapped to P&L?
Assertions for the what are the assertions aspects that you want to know?
Assertion mapped to P&L.
Assertions map. So like assertions map to P&L for like you want to know the there are if there is something in the P&L that we can check the definitely accuracy, completeness, and accuracy, completeness, existence तो नहीं आएगा, completeness, accuracy. There are two things are there. Salvation तो नहीं आएगी, existence भी नहीं आएगी, physical verification भी नहीं आएगी.
Are you saying something? I cannot hear it.
Well, actually, I'm getting confused with the accounts balances and assertions to P&L.
Very good. What is significant account?
Significant accounts. That significant account that has substantial impact on the financial positions and the financial statements. Significant accounting transactions are definitely has a great amount, and significant financial transactions.
How do you identify it?
How significant accounting transactions, if any happens, then the board report, board meetings, audit committee.
Wow! Board meeting we will identify significant accounts. Very good.
Financials में देखेंगे but approvals तो आते हैं ना audit committee से भी अगर कुछ बड़ा होता है तो.
I don't understand Hindi, I'm so sorry.
Okay. If any transaction, then we also get approval from the audit committees on the board and management.
Very good.
That's all.
No problem. Done. हो गया तुम्हारा ब्रेक इवन आ गया है. गलत आंसर आने चालू हो गए. सिग्निफिकेंट अकाउंट क्या होता है? बोर्ड मीटिंग में पता पड़ेगा। वाह भाई साहब, मतलब गजब। मन तो कर रहा है मैं नस काट लूं अपनी। हाँ चलो नो प्रॉब्लम, बट आप आखिरी तक रुके रहे, दैट वाज इटसेल्फ शोकेस दैट दैट इज देयर, है ना, हसल इज देयर। ठीक है यार, बाकी लोग प्लीज 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 अनम्यूट करके, राइट, लेट्स गिव हर अ राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज। अनम्यूट करके प्लीज, अनम्यूट करके जोरदार तालियां मैम के लिए।
Very good.
आई सिग्निफिकेंट अकाउंटिंग ट्रांजैक्शन ही इतना बेकार बोला है मैंने।
बहुत अच्छा था रजनी, seriously you stood up.
Nice fighting.
That was really good.
अश्मिता को अगला लेना है, टेंशन मत लो।
Sir,
हाँ
sir,
रुको बेटा, हाँ
sir, what are socks only?
रुको रुको बेटा, कवर करेंगे, सब कवर करेंगे, टेंशन मत लो। हाँ आंसर देते हो तुम लोग, मतलब आधे आंसर तो भाई ऐसे डर लगता है मुझे। इट्स वेरी बेसिक आंसर्स यार, हाउ कैन यू मेक द मिस्टेक्स ऑन दैट। हाँ प्लीज 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 पढ़ो यार, रीड इट, राइट। आई एम आस्किंग मोर ऑन अ प्रैक्टिकल एस्पेक्ट सो दैट यू आर गोना बी फोकसिंग इन अ बेटर वे। आई डोंट वांट यू टू मेक दिस टाइप ऑफ मिस्टेक्स गाइस। आई थिंक द क्वेश्चंस वर वेरी बेसिक इनफ, है ना। आपको पूछा फेवरेट रेशियो, बोले करंट रेशियो। आज द स्टैंडर्ड पता है, वो स्टैंडर्ड तो बच्चे को भी पता है। इवन 10th स्टैंडर्ड 11th स्टैंडर्ड गाय कैन से करंट रेशियो का क्या स्टैंडर्ड होता है। एडवांस लेवल क्वेश्चन पूछा मैंने, बताओ व्हाट इज द बेड थिंग अबाउट अ करंट रेशियो। नहीं 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 नहीं, मेरे को नहीं पता ये सब। ठीक है चलो लेट्स गो वन बाय वन। एनीवन ऑफ यू हैव रिटन ऑल द क्वेश्चंस, प्लीज रेज योर हैंड्स। किसी ने लिखा है? गोविंदा, बहुत दिनों बाद आ रहे हो बेटा तुम, आजकल डाउट सॉल्विंग में भी नहीं दिखते हो।
नहीं सर, कभी आता हूँ।
नहीं आते हो बेटा, गोली दे रहे हो तुम मुझे। चलो बताओ, क्वेश्चंस पूछो एक 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 एक, एक।
सर पहले ब्रीफ इंट्रो था।
हाँ ब्रीफ इंट्रो, अच्छा रुको, ब्रीफ इंट्रो था कि क्या था, मेरे को तो समझ में नहीं आया। मैं तो वेट कर रहा था व्हेन शी विल स्टॉप। लाइक भाई क्या बोल रही है, रुक जा भाई रुक जा, शी इज नॉट वेटिंग ओनली, मतलब गजब, दे रही है 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 भाई, दैट इज वन थिंग। सेकंड, द सिटिंग अरेंजमेंट वाज नॉट गुड। नॉट गुड एज इन इनिशियली आप ऐसे बैठे थे एकदम अलग, देन लेटर ऑन यू सिट प्रॉपर्ली, राइट, which is there. Although you should sit it properly, please understand guys, थोड़ा सा one arm distance from a laptop, head space तो देखो इतना ज्यादा रखा है, थोड़ा सा अच्छे से बैठे, comfortably बैठे, so that is going to be expected. And detail, very detailed introduction. I did not like your introduction. Please work on your introduction. ठीक है? So that is something which you need to work on. Next.
So complete articleship in March 20.
है ना, थोड़ा सा आपके resumes में ठीक ठाक करे, फॉर्मेटिंग इश्यूज है बहुत ज्यादा, राइट, डज नॉट लुक लाइक जस्टिफाइड नहीं है, प्लीज गेट इट सॉर्टेड। इफ योर आर्टिकलशिप इज कंप्लीटेड लॉन्ग बैक गाइस, अगेन आई एम सेइंग इट आउट, यू नीड टू हैव अ गुड स्टोरी, राइट, यू नीड टू हैव अ गुड स्टोरी अबाउट आर्टिकलशिप। वो स्टोरी मिसिंग है ना। एकदम से वो ऐसा मुझे लग रहा था कि आई एम आस्किंग यू रॉन्ग क्वेश्चन, ठीक है, तो वो गैप है, देन यू आर वर्किंग समवेयर, यू नीड टू टेल देम आउट कि आपने काम किया है, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट,
कंट्रोल टेस्टिंग।
हाँ तो आई स्टार्टेड, सिर्फ कंट्रोल टेस्टिंग था और कुछ था?
नहीं, व्हाई वी नीड कंट्रोल टेस्टिंग।
हाँ तो वेरी बेसिक क्वेश्चंस, राइट, कि हमें कंट्रोल्स क्यों चाहिए, बट द आंसर्स वर नॉट वेरी स्मूथ यार। यहाँ पे आपको बोलना चाहिए कि कंट्रोल टेस्टिंग से हमें पता पड़ेगा कि कितना इफेक्टिव है, चीजें कैसे हो रही है, इट विल हेल्प अस टू अंडरस्टैंड द बिजनेस, इट विल आल्सो हेल्प अस व्हेन वी आर गोइंग टू बी डूइंग अ सब्सटेंटिव टेस्टिंग, राइट। ये सब चीजें थोड़ा सा मिसिंग था, एंड गाइस यूज रूल ऑफ 3 और 4 पॉइंटर मैनर्स में बोले इसको, राइट, सो दैट इट्स गोइंग टू बी गोइंग इन अ बेटर वे। नेक्स्ट,
कैन वी रिड्यूस substantive टेस्टिंग बाय कंट्रोल टेस्टिंग?
can we reduce the substantive testing by if the controls are effective? हाँ, so the answer is yes, you can reduce the substantive testing if the controls are effective, right? But again यहाँ पे आपको बोलना था, for the significant accounts which are there, for that we should not do it, right? What is the significant account? Accounts those are important, which are material, right? How do you identify significant account? Number one, you identify the significant accounts based on materiality, कि जो materiality के ऊपर है वो significant है, और the accounts those have a high volume of transactions, or where have unexceptional items. अरे बताया तो है सब क्लास में, राइट, प्लीज गाइज, मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, ये सब बेसिक चीजें मैंने कवर की है पूरे क्लास में, स्टैट ऑडिट केस में, प्लीज देखो यार, ऐसा मत करो। हाँ तो निकालना सिखाया सिग्निफिकेंट अकाउंट्स, अगर आपने ध्यान से देखा होगा तो, right? So that is there. Next.
So how do you define control testing good or bad?
How do you define?
Control testing good or bad? कंट्रोल टेस्टिंग गुड और बैड है
नहीं,
कि
इन्होंने
कैसे
गुड और
define
बैड
करें?
बोला था. देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड भाई, देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड गुड कंट्रोल, बैड कंट्रोल. द कंट्रोल्स आर इफेक्टिव और इनइफेक्टिव.
हाँ, हाउ डू डिसाइड इट आपने पूछा था बार बार.
हाँ, तो यही मैं बोल रहा हूँ. डोंट यूज दिस गुड और बैड वर्ड, यूज इफेक्टिव और इनइफेक्टिव. क्लियर है? द कंट्रोल्स आर इफेक्टिव, द कंट्रोल्स आर इनइफेक्टिव. नेवर से द कंट्रोल्स आर गुड, नेवर से द कंट्रोल्स आर बैड. ठीक है, मतलब यू कैन से इट आउट, बट जनरली इट्स गुड, इफेक्टिव और इनइफेक्टिव इफ यू आर अ प्योर ऑडिटर. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे आपको देखना होता है कि भाई मैंने जब सैंपल टेस्टिंग किया, बेस्ड ऑन द सैंपल टेस्टिंग व्हाट हैव बीन द आउटकम, राइट? अब इसमें मैं और ग्रिल कर सकता था आपको. इमेजिन दैट यू आर ऑडिटिंग 25 सैंपल्स, ठीक है, आउट ऑफ विच 5 सैंपल्स वर इनकरेक्ट. व्हाट यू विल डू? ये सबसे टफ क्वेश्चन है. देन यू विल इंक्रीज द सैंपल साइज, ये बोलना पड़ता है. अब नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आएगा, बाय व्हाट नंबर. ठीक है, तो ये आपको आंसर देना पड़ेगा कि भाई अगेन यू आर गोना बी एक्सट्रापोलेटिंग इट टू अ हायर रिस्क साइड. अब मेरा रिस्क बढ़ गया है, तो अगेन आई विल बी टेकिंग द मोर ऑफ अ सैंपल. ठीक है, वो चार्ट दिया हुआ है कंट्रोल टेस्टिंग का, प्लीज सी इट आउट इन द नोट्स. नोट्स फिर से दिखाता हूँ, लोग भूल जाते हैं फिर से. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट आप आगे बढ़िए प्लीज.
So example of non-financial control.
वाओ, वेरी गुड, है ना? ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. व्हाट इज नॉन फाइनेंशियल कंट्रोल एंड व्हाई इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट? आपने एक अच्छा एग्जांपल दिया था, एम्प्लॉय अटेंडेंस और एम्प्लॉय टाइमिंग, नॉट द अटेंडेंस, कि एम्प्लॉय कितने बजे आ रहा है ऑफिस में. ये नॉन फाइनेंशियल कंट्रोल है, बट यस इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज इट विल हैम्पर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, राइट? इसके अलावा लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स लाइक द कल्चर, द फूड, ये सब छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं जो इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती है, कि वेदर द फूड इज डिलीवर्ड ऑन अ टाइमली मैनर, right? So that is there, whether the company follows a proper holiday policy or not. Am I getting it? तो ये सब चीजें आपको थोड़ा बहुत देखना पड़ता है when it is comes to non financial controls. ये पूछा जाता है अगेन इन इंटरव्यूज. ये टेबल की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, which is again there in page number 8. ठीक है, yes, next.
Example of financial control.
हाँ, तो फाइनेंशियल कंट्रोल्स के तो पूरे एग्जांपल दे सकते हो यार. बैंक रिकंसिलिएशन, राइट? अगेन चेकिंग द एडिशंस ऑफ फिक्स्ड असेट, जो ध्यान में आ रहा है, एवरी सेकंड एग्जांपल इज ऑफ फाइनेंशियल कंट्रोल. ठीक है, यस, नेक्स्ट.
Why do we need for non-financial control?
हाँ, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, जस्ट टू नो हाउ द कंपनी इज परफॉर्मिंग ऑन अ ओवरऑल बेसिस एंड इट गिव्स अ बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग अबाउट हाउ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज ऑन अ ओवरऑल लेवल. इससे हमको पता पड़ता है नॉन फाइनेंशियल कंट्रोल से. यस, नेक्स्ट.
How do you identify ghost employee?
यस, ये फेवरेट क्वेश्चन है इन एवरी इंटरनल ऑडिट इंटरव्यू. मैं लिख के दे रहा हूँ, ये पूछेंगे 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 पूछेंगे, राइट? अदर्स, इफ यू कुड आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन इन अ चैट बॉक्स प्लीज. चैट बॉक्स पे बताइए कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे. फेवरेट आंसर है भाई, ये इंटरनल ऑडिट के नोट्स में भी दिया हुआ है.
Head count ratio, sir.
हाँ, हेड काउंट,
Head count ratio.
हेड काउंट रिकंसिलेशन. ठीक है, सेकेंड. और बताइए, बाकी लोग चैट पे बताएंगे, राइट? अदर्स कैन लेट मी नो इन द चैट बॉक्स प्लीज. व्हाट एल्स? चैट पे बताओ, चैट पे बताओ, चैट एनेबल्ड है. पीएफ नंबर, ठीक है, वन ऑफ द एरिया. बायोमेट्रिक, ठीक है. सबसे पहला होना चाहिए बैकग्राउंड चेक. बैकग्राउंड चेक होता है व्हेन यू जॉइन द कंपनी, राइट? विल आस्क फॉर अ बैकग्राउंड चेक रिपोर्ट, विल चूज द सैंपल एम्प्लॉइज एंड विल चेक देयर आधार कार्ड, पैन कार्ड. मैम तो बोल रहे मैं तो जाके देख के आऊंगी कैसे दिखते हैं एम्प्लॉइज. शर्म करो. या आप कोई रजिस्टर देखोगे, रजिस्टर में तो फेक एम्प्लॉइज कर सकते हैं, राइट? यू आर गोना बी सीइंग द KYC documents, which is very very important for the sample selected employees. ठीक है, so that is there, है ना? तो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट होता है ये KYC documents and the background check which is going to be there. A lot of companies have hired a background checking agencies. ठीक है, so that is there. हाँ, मैचिंग ऑफ अ बैंक अकाउंट इज आल्सो नीड्स टू बी डन. बहुत बार फेक होता है कि किसका बैंक अकाउंट है क्या है, तो अगेन दैट इज समथिंग यू कैन चेक. इसका एक डिटेल्ड आंसर इंटरनल ऑडिट के क्वेश्चन बैंक में डाला हुआ है, वहां से देखिएगा. नेक्स्ट.
सर आपने वो गूगल पे सर्च करने को बोला था, कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करना ghost employees?
हाँ, क्या देख के भी तुम सर्च नहीं कर रही हो? मतलब अगेन दिस इंडिकेट्स दैट आप थोड़ा सा फंबल हो जाओगी प्रेशराइज एनवायरनमेंट में. ठीक है, इतना टेंशन लेने का नहीं. गलत हुआ टेंशन नहीं लेने का, बट रिसर्च करते आना चाहिए. Then I ask you how much you will rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 for a research. You said 5. मुझे बुरा लगा जब आपने 5 बोला, बिकॉज वो 5 जैसा लग नहीं रहा था. ठीक है. तो अगेन यू शुड बी कॉन्फिडेंट इनफ कि आई कैन डू अ रिसर्च, बट आपने ऐसी हरकतें की थी तो ठीक है, 5 वाज ओके, है ना. बट अगेन यू शुड नॉट डू दिस मिस्टेक. एकदम सिंपल था यार, ये तो आप इजीली ढूंढ सकती थी. नेक्स्ट.
What is O2C process?
यस, O2C इज ऑर्डर टू कैश प्रोसेस. प्रोसेस वाइज मैम आप फ्लो नहीं बता पा रही हो. थोड़ा सा प्लीज पढ़ लो, नोट्स पढ़ो, दिखाए अगर आपको. यहाँ पे they'll again start asking you all the jargon words. ये है O2C प्रोसेस, ऑर्डर टू कैश. थोड़ा सा प्रोसेस फ्लो बताइए. एंड इफ यू डोंट नो, इतना बड़ा नहीं याद करना है तो ये बताओ. I've prepared it in a very simple way. थोड़ा सा पढ़ो इसको, right? Just read it out in a very simple way. Next.
Duration higher the lower is better for O2C process.
हाँ, तो जितना जल्दी कैश आएगा it's better, right? So again, I think you said low, so I think that was okay. Next.
Debtor has a balance of 1 CR. How will you identify that? Yeah, what could go wrong?
हाँ, अरे very simple. If the debtor balance is 1 crore, first of all, you try to send external confirmation. You'll check the subsequent receipts, subsequent payments. ये आप बोल ही नहीं रही थी. Right? You'll see the aging of a debtor. ये भी नहीं बोला आपने. Right? You'll see how old is the debtor, whether it's a new debtor or an old debtor. ये भी आपने नहीं बोला. Right? Few basic things you were missing it out. ठीक है. Next.
What could happen if BR is not prepared on monthly basis?
Right? What if the confirmation is not received, subsequent receipts, subsequent payments? You'll ask a management to ask the debtor to share the confirmation, and you'll check the sales register. You'll check the subsequent sales, subsequent receipts. ये देखना पड़ता है. हाँ. What if? Question क्या था? What if
What
BRS
could happen if BR is not prepared on monthly basis?
Right. Again, you should know कि what could go wrong. यहाँ पे और क्या गलत हो सकता है? Overstatement of a cash हो सकता है, understatement of a cash हो सकता है, non recording of some transactions हो सकता है. ये सब सुनना था मुझे. ठीक है. Again, you are going into the type, but yes, type नहीं, पहले main problems then subtypes. ठीक है. Yes. Next.
What is steaming and leading?
I think you answered it correctly, right? But आपने सिर्फ debtor के लिए लिया था. It's more of a rotation of a cash, rotate करने का. ठीक है. Next.
What is BOM?
हाँ, bill of material inventory में पूछा जाएगा, right? What is a products needed, or what is a quantity of RM needed to produce a 1 unit of finished goods? That is something which is going to be tested there. Next.
What is schedule 2?
Again, schedule 2 is again about your anyone
Depreciation.
chat box. हाँ, depreciation. Yes.
वो आपने सर वो लाइफ चेंज का पूछा था वो.
हाँ.
Can we change the year?
So can we change the year? Again, if our management have a reasonable justification for a change, so that can be there. But again, it will require a proper disclosure. Disclosure देना पड़ता है. But उसमें भी I think एक limit है, वो check कर लेना please एक बार कि क्या limit है और कब तक आप वो change को दिखा सकते हो. I think schedule 2 को मैंने डाला हुआ है. Schedule 2, if you see the course section, वहाँ पे आपको मिल जाएगा schedule 2. Next. हाँ.
How we added addition in fixed asset?
Sorry.
Fixed asset में addition. एक क्वेश्चन थोड़ा मिस हो गया था ये वाला. वो फिक्स असेट टर्नओवर रेशियो का पूछे थे आपने, और एक एडिशन इन फिक्स असेट.
फॉर्मूला, बेसिक फॉर्मूला पढ़ लीजिए. फिक्स असेट टर्नओवर रेशियो तो बेसिक है, जान है ऑडिट की. फिक्स असेट टर्नओवर रेशियो इफ यू आर गोइंग फॉर अ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी, राइट? एनीवन कैन लेट मी नो. लोअर द बेटर, हायर द बेटर? चैट पे बताइए, अनम्यूट करके बताएगा कोई.
सर हायर द बेटर.
हायर द बेटर.
फिक्स असेट टर्नओवर रेशियो ऑलवेज हायर द बेटर, है ना?
हायर द बेटर.
हाँ जी बेटा, हो गया बेटा. हाँ. नेक्स्ट.
एनी फेवरेट रेशियो पूछे थे आपने.
हाँ ठीक है, करंट रेशियो बोली वो भी हंस के. हाँ. नेक्स्ट.
उसके बाद स्टैंडर्ड करंट रेशियो.
ठीक है, ये तो बता दिया. हाँ. नेक्स्ट.
बैड पार्ट अबाउट करंट रेशियो वाला.
हाँ, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. व्हाट इज द बैड पार्ट अबाउट करंट रेशियो? एनीवन? ये
liquidity नहीं बता पाता है.
इमीडिएटली हर
हाँ,
liquidity नहीं बता पाता है.
हाँ, लिक्विडिटी नहीं बता रहा है ना वो, नॉन लिक्विड चीजों को भी बता रहा है. तो दैट इज व्हाई वी नीड अ क्विक रेशियो. ठीक है. यस. नेक्स्ट.
Do we report on ratio in कारो?
Anyone?
Yes sir.
कहाँ
2020
पे?
में डिस्क्लोजर करना पड़ता है कारो में. 2020
कहाँ पे?
क्लॉज एग्जैक्टली नहीं है.
Anyone? और कोई बता
So
सकता है
the clause in which we can't report if the management can meet its liabilities, solvency, whether the company is solvent or not. Like, I can't remember the clause number right now. I think 19.
चेक करो
18 or 19. हाँ
चेक
सर,
करो.
एक मिनट.
मैं भी देख रहा हूँ, मेरे को क्लॉज नंबर मेरे को भी याद नहीं है.
मैं कल ही पढ़ा यार.
है रिपोर्टिंग तो है कारो में. That
हाँ
is there.
डिस्क्लोजर है. मैं
The Nidhi company, net on funds to
निधि नहीं रे
deposits.
बेटा.
निधि नहीं है.
सेपरेट है, सेपरेट क्लॉज है.
Sir, if difference
sir,
is more than 25% from last year, so we have to.
हाँ सर, clause 19 है सर.
Caro.
कौन सा है?
Clause 19, clause 19 सर.
क्लॉज 19 है ना. हाँ, क्लॉज 19 में एक बार चेक कर लो भाई. Okay, what is clause 19? If you could read it out loud for everyone, what is clause 19?
Just a minute sir. Order खोलता हूँ सर, वो मैंने tax इसमें देखा था.
On the basis of financial
tax में.
ratios, हाँ, aging and expected date of a realization of financial assets and payments of financial liabilities and other information accompanying the financial statements and auditor knowledge. है तो यही है. On the basis of थोड़ा सा ratio का reporting होता है. So that is there in I think it's there in clause 19. ठीक है. मुस्कान गर्ग ने सही दिया. बहुत बढ़िया मुस्कान जी. नेक्स्ट.
फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ पीपी.
हाँ, इसका फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन पता होना चाहिए. हाउ डू वेरीफाई, हाउ शुड कंपनी वेरीफाई, दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट. एंड इस पे मैंने पूछा था कि एट व्हाट फ्रीक्वेंसी. कहाँ लिखा हुआ है?
कहाँ लिखा है?
3 years.
हाँ, कहाँ लिखा है?
once in 3 years का पता था. कारो में है. क्लॉज 1
कारो में ही है. और कहाँ है भाई?
कहाँ कारो मेंशन?
कारो में ही लिखा है. हाँ,
तो वहाँ रीजनेबल पीरियड लिखा है.
हाँ, रीजनेबल पीरियड लिखा है, बट हाँ,
उसके बाद भी 3 लिखा हुआ है.
3 लिखा हुआ है भाई. पढ़ो. नेक्स्ट.
व्हाट इज स्क्रैप सेल?
हाँ 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 हाँ, ठीक है. तो एकदम चिल रहा था. छोड़ो. नेक्स्ट.
बिगेस्ट रिस्क इन ट्रेजरी, कैश एंड बैंक.
सॉरी
बिगेस्ट रिस्क इन ट्रेजरी आपने कैश एंड बैंक का पूछा था.
अंडरस्टेटमेंट और ओवरस्टेटमेंट ऑफ कैश.
हाउ डू वी कंट्रोल इट?
How do you control it? Lot of things you can do. Cash count, bank reconciliations, पूरे controls which are controls which you implement for a cash, है ना.
What is SOX audit?
ठीक है. सॉक्स के बारे में भी नोट्स में लिखा हुआ है मेरे. Anyone can let me know the पेज नंबर कहाँ लिखा है यार. बहुत डिटेल में लिखा हुआ है. ये सॉक्स का इंटरनल ऑडिट में बहुत पूछते हैं. प्लीज पढ़ के जाना. राइट, एक सेकंड को मैं ही बताता हूँ which page number it is written in my notes. Sarvan SOX let everyone knows of full form. तो SOX के तहत you are going to be auditing, right? I have just given it in my notes.
Page 25 sir.
पेज कौन सा है बेटा?
25.
25 में पढ़ लेना. वहां पे बहुत डिटेल में लिखा हुआ है. It is the SOX and the details about it. ठीक है. 25 में दिया है what is SOX and why it is done. ठीक है. Yes, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स के लिए मैंडेटरी हो जाता है ना फॉर द इंटरनल कंट्रोल टेस्टिंग. So that is a SOX. प्लीज पढ़ लो. 25 में दिया हुआ है नोट्स में. नेक्स्ट.
What is assertion map to P&L?
बेटा, assertion mapping if you are not able to answer, है ना. मुझे लग रहा था मैं अपनी नस काटूं. Assertion mapping to P&L, assertion mapping to balance sheet is very very important. You cannot afford to make the mistake on this guys. और इस पे फिर वो पूछते हैं कि हाउ डू चेक इट. अगर आप असर्शन मैपिंग में आंसर नहीं कर पा रहे हो, उसका भरोसा उठ जाएगा. मैं पहले ही बता रहा हूँ. बिकॉज द टाइम यू जॉइन अ बिग फोर, यू आर गोइंग टू बी मैपिंग द असर्शन टू P&L एंड बैलेंस शीट आइटम. क्लियर. नेक्स्ट.
What is significant account?
हाँ ठीक है. तो मैंने आई थिंक पहले ही आंसर कर दिया.
बस हो गया, फिर खत्म
हो गया. बस इतने ही. क्या यार. ठीक है. आई थिंक कहाँ चली गई है रजनी? बुरा मत मानना प्लीज, और गुस्से में अनफॉलो मत कर देना इंस्टाग्राम पे.
सर मैं इंस्टा पे एक्टिव नहीं हूँ.
अच्छा, बहुत बढ़िया. बोल देती सर फॉलो करती हूँ, अच्छा लगता. बट ठीक है,
फॉलो कर लिया है सर.
बहुत बढ़िया बेटा. है ना. तो डोंट टेक स्ट्रेस एंड टेंशन.
सर एक रह गया है.
कौन सा रह गया बेटा?
कि 31 मार्च को अगर कैश काउंट नहीं कर पाया, सब्सिक्वेंट डेट पे भी नहीं कर पाए कैश काउंट.
राइट. तो यहाँ पे सबसे पहले आप कंफर्मेशन लोगे. सेकंड, आप देखोगे कि कितना वॉल्यूम ऑफ कैश है. थर्ड, आप देखोगे कि क्या ये मेरे लिए मटेरियलिटी के ऊपर है, क्या ये मेरे लिए रिस्क है क्या. Fourth, of course, you'll also see the area where the inventory is high. The chances of lying a cash there is high. ये आप मिस कर दी. मैंने पूछा कि आप कौन से आप सिलेक्ट करोगे, आप बोलोगे जॉब्स में ज्यादा कैश है. सेकंड, मैं वो भी आप सिलेक्ट करूंगा जहां पे इन्वेंटरी ज्यादा है. Because there are high chances that if the inventory is more, the cash is going to be rotation of a cash is more. Right? So that is something which you have missed out. ठीक है, तो ये एक चीज आप भूल गई. Although 100% cash count is not possible for this cases, again you need to rely on the management on few areas. But yes, subsequent receipts and payments and the cash transaction, you will check it. And cutoff पे आपको highlight करना था यहाँ पे. The cutoff is something which you should have highlighted here, which I think that was missing. ठीक है, तो आई थिंक अभी हमने कहा था कंप्लीट कर लिया. आई थिंक वी हैव ओनली कवर्ड टिल प्रोसेसेस. अभी तो अकाउंट्स का बचा हुआ है और कंक्लूजन बचा हुआ है. मुझे लग नहीं रहा है कि आज हम लोग करेंगे. राइट, आई थिंक मुझे यहीं पे स्टॉप कर देना चाहिए. विल डू इट अगेन टुमारो मॉर्निंग सेम टाइम. थैंक यू. क्या बोल रहे हो? टुमारो मॉर्निंग सेम टाइम विल डू इट आउट फॉर
सर 9 o'clock.
वाह, शर्म आ रहा है, उठना मेरे को है. तुम रिकॉर्डिंग देख लेना. 9 o'clock देखना है तो तुमको.
नहीं सर, मुझे देना है इंटरव्यू.
कौन है ये?
मैं हूँ सर.
तुमको तो आईडीटी में जाना है बेटा. आईडीटी का नहीं चल रहा है ये.
सर आईडीटी का आप ले ही नहीं रहे हो.
आईडीटी का हो भी गया बेटा, हो गया ऑलरेडी.
सर आपने थोड़ी ना लिया था.
तो मेंटर ने लिया ना
सर. तब आपकी क्लास थी, आपने मना कर दिया था कि आपके लिए दोबारा रखेंगे, आप क्लास में आना.
कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है. अभी स्टार्ट ऑडिट पे चलने दो.
ले लो
सर.
मेरा तो बहुत देर से
सर
लाइन
आपने
पे है.
सॉरी खुशी जी, कल लेंगे पक्का. कल खुशी आपका ही लेंगे.
सर मेरा
सर,
परसों
आपने-
डिलॉइट में है
हाँ,
इसलिए.
तो कल प्रिपेयर करवा देंगे.
चलो.
कल पक्का आपका लेंगे सुबह अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग.
सर आपने एक चीज
हाँ बताओ.
सर आपने एक चीज बोली थी उसमें कि कैश ऑडिट में अगर 500 से ज्यादा खपा है, जैसे आदित्य बिरला, तो उसमें कैसे करेंगे? मतलब वो
हाँ, तो अगेन वही ना, you need to identify important hubs and places we are going to be doing it, right? जहाँ पे कैश बैलेंसेस ज्यादा है, जहाँ पे इन्वेंटरीज ज्यादा है, वो सब एरियाज पे आप काउंट करोगे. Because 100% counting is not possible. और here you can also hire some external, ऐसे पता है कौन सा है? I think 402. कौन सा ऐसे?
Yes.
सर्विस 402 है ना?
Yes.
हाँ, तो आप हायर कर सकते हो दूसरे लोगों को. ठीक है, तो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच यू कैन डू.
सर मास्टर क्लास के बेस पे वो सीवी में क्या पुट करना सर एक बार दे सकते हैं?
सेशन में ही डला हुआ है मास्टर क्लास.
सर वो उतना लास्ट तक देखना, एक्चुअली कल ही लिया है तो टाइम लगेगा, इसीलिए पहले दे दे तो मैं
पहले सीवी में डालेगा फिर करेगा. तो पहले सीवी वो देख ले, पहले वाला सेशन देख ले, रेज्यूम वाला.
मास्टर क्लास में कौन सा नंबर पे?
एकदम एंड में डाला हुआ है.
ओके सर, वो उसको पुट करके क्योंकि क्लास करना है शुरू कर दिया, 2 क्लास कर लिया सर.
हाँ जी भाई, मैं बोल रहा हूँ लर्न द थिंग्स. अगेन आई एम सेइंग इट गाइस टू ऑल ऑफ यू, learn the things practically. Don't just learn it for just of showing it कि मैंने किया है या दिखाने के लिए. Again I am saying it, everything which I've given in the notes, very precise manner it has been given. आप ध्यान से पढ़ें. Second thing, the class which I've given it to you is again very nice. Request you to please listen it out carefully. ध्यान से सुनो. And वहाँ पे dummy data जो दिया है, please work on it. Please, again I am saying it, है ना? Because you need to be the best. You need to be perfect when you're going for any of the interviews, guys. You cannot afford to be get rejected based on technicals. हम लोग afford नहीं कर सकते कि हम technicals पे reject हो रहे हैं. And that is why we at the CMONG team is trying our best. ठीक है? Right, for the people those who don't know कहाँ पे है master class, बता देता हूँ. You'll also find the link in the YouTube description, but it's there on the master class section, Stat Audit. Right, यहाँ पे जाइए. Right, it's a 20 hours course. मेरा ही है, मैंने ही बनाया है. 20 घंटे का कोर्स है. You need to invest 20 odd hours. राइट, अप्रोक्सीमेटली आपका 2-3 दिन में खत्म हो जाएगा. 2x की स्पीड पे देख लेना. 2 डेमो लेक्चर भी डाले, प्लीज देखो, आपको मजा आएगा. एवरीथिंग हैव बीन टॉट हियर इन अ वेरी प्रैक्टिकल मैनर. 3 साल का आर्टिकलशिप यहाँ पे कवर किया गया है. राइट, तो जस्ट चेक इट आउट, यू विल लव इट. ठीक है, जिन्होंने नहीं देखा है भाई देखो, इज्जत से बोल रहा हूँ, ट्रस्ट मी, यू विल लव इट. आपको एक अलग लेवल पे कंफर्ट आएगा इस पे, इसको देखने के बाद. ठीक है, और जिन्होंने देखा है, ऑल्सो आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू टू प्लीज पैरेलली प्रिपेयर फॉर दिस, है ना? You can also prepare it for using a reading material. ठीक है, master class is in Hindi. No, 80% English, 20% Hindi. ठीक है, so I think that's all about today's session. Tomorrow morning again we'll have a mock interview, same time 8:30 to 10:30. ठीक है, तो रिक्वेस्ट यू टू प्लीज ज्वाइन इन, राइट। और जिसको कल देना होगा, राइट, खुशी का लेना है कल पहले, राइट। और बाकियों को अगर किसी को देना होगा, जस्ट लेट मी नो, विल बी हैप्पी टू कवर मोर ऑफ अ मॉक इंटरव्यूज। ठीक है, यस। तो यूट्यूब वाले जनता, आपको बाय बाय, ऑल द बेस्ट। बढ़िया से देखे, बढ़िया से पढ़े। अगर कोई क्वेरीज रहेगा, यू कैन पुट द क्वेरीज इन द कमेंट सेक्शन, राइट। और डोंट फॉरगेट टू लाइक द वीडियो आउट, इतना मेहनत कर रहे हैं आपके लिए, राइट। शेयर दिस वीडियो विथ as much people as possible.